Good day everyone. Welcome to class. So this is practical 5 of introduction to programming language using C++. Of course, we've done the practical 1 where we talk about the flowchart and algorithm. Practical 2, we've talked about that one where we look at your system configuration and installation of C++ programming. We look at practical 3 where we do your first program, which is Hello World. Then we talk about practical 4 where we solve a simple mathematical problem. So we continue in practical 5, which is to write statistical program for mean, median and variance using C++. I told you earlier on that this C++ is very, very important because that is what they actually use in coding embedded system. So it is very, very important to you as an electronic student. So please take note of that. Of course, we are using it to solve different problems so that you will get familiar with it and then you'll be able to use it by the time you will be solving your own problem or doing your own thing. So now let's go to practical 5. I've told you how to write your practical and I've already explained that each practical title has its own mark, which is explained here in the first page of your manual. These are the marks, so you must know what to do and then you must know that it's necessary that you complete all these your practical. You have the title, you have the aim, the objectives, the equipment or resources needed. We have the brief introduction here, then we have the procedure, we have the program, we have every other things. You have the result, we have the observation, we have the conclusion. So let's go straight to our programming language. The program here is to write statistical program for mean, median and variance. So that means the program that will be able to solve this thing. So that means we are going to be supplying some data sets to it if we are finding this to require data. The aim is to develop C++ program that calculates key statistical value, that is mean, median and variance from a set of numerical data point. Of course, the programming language I've sent it to you, we are using Quincy and using Quincy, which is the C++ environment that we are using. So this is Quincy. So let's start. The objective is to understand and compute basic statistical measure using C++, to process a data set using array, then to apply logical condition. I'm going to put all this video together that is, we are going to be having practical 5, 6 and 7 together in this video. So I may be a bit faster so that it won't be too long. So if you don't understand, you can just drop your message on the comment below. So please, let's go ahead. So let's follow our procedure. Don't forget that the introduction is not to be written. So in data analysis and general application, it is essential to summarize data using descriptive statistics. The mean gives the average value, the median identify the central value, and the variance show how spread out the data is. So these concepts are useful in analyzing sensor reading, performance data, voltage fluctuation, and more. C++ provides the structure needed to efficiently compute these values from large data sets. So our procedure, we have to launch a C++ development environment, which is the Quincy that we are using. This is the environment of C++. We have to create a new C++ source file named statistics C++. So we have to save it to, so let's save this one to as a statistic C++. So I'm saving it, save as I think I have a folder on the D and this that this for QBasic, this for this for C++. So this use statistical statistical.cpp. So I will save it. So that's the name here. So then use an array to store user input. Write separate function to calculate mean, median, and variance. So I have stored the array for the median. So I have the code here. So what I will be doing is I will just copy the code and drop it on the platform to see if it's correct. If it's not correct, we are going to debug it and check for the error. So I've copied and I've dropped it on the platform. So the input data is here. Input data is here 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's what we are going to be inputting. So let's run it and see how it's going to be. So Sassy card does not exist. Build okay, yes. So it's building the environment to do so unsuccessful build. So that means there is an error somewhere here. Say program before return primary. Okay, so say it's unsuccessful. Let's see where the problem is. So let's check the previous program that we did to be sure we are still on the same page. Let's open this one and then let's run it. Okay, good. Welcome to okay. So this one runs, so that means there's no problem with this. So good. So let's now open a statistical program and run it again. It is not safe, so let's copy it again and run it. So let's run it and see. Yes, unsuccessful. So I will quickly check it and let you know where the problem. Okay, welcome back. We are going to run it separate. It seems that the combination of running together has a little challenge, so we are going to solve it anyway, but let's quickly run it separate so that we'll be able to see. So the program to run it separate is here. This is the program for calculating the mean. So we are going to copy this one now. I've already copied it. I've started running it already. It was asking me to supply the number of elements that I want. That means I'm supplying 5 numbers, that is 5 elements. After entry, so enter 5 numbers, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Those are the number I'm entering. So press enter, then it calculates the mean to give us 30. So that is the output for that one. So we are calculating the median now. So just to copy, so the data set here, so result, that is input data is 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So our mean equals 30. So our mean is 30. Sorry for that. So our mean is 30. So now we are going to run the median already. So copy this and then take it to the place also. You close this, Ctrl A, V, and you save it, then you run it. So let's see. Okay, successful. That's built this, so it's going to display it now. So we are going to use the same set of numbers. So it's asking us now, should ask us some question. So let's wait. So we say enter the number of elements, just only 5 elements. Enter 5, enter, then enter 5 numbers, the same 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, then to give us the median. The median here too is 30. The median here too is 30. So you go back and our input. So since we use the same input here, don't forget the element here is 5, the input data is this, and the mean is this. So here the same thing. Okay, we are going to copy this result, put it under the median because we have the same thing here. So put it under the median. So here I have a median to be 30 again. So we are going to calculate the variance now. I'm copying the code for the variance, then I'm pasting it there. I'm running it also. Yes. Oh, unsuccessful. So that means the problem we are having is actually from the variance. So let's see. I hope this thing can be zoomed. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's see. I want us to. Let's see if we can. Okay, the major problem here is error nil that there's 2 data points. Of course, we know that. What is the real program for accumulate for pool using namespace standard, double calculate variance, cost to vector, double and data size 5. This is it. If data size is less than 2, then it show error, but it doesn't actually build the so. So you can check for error, can ask ChatGPT to actually check for error for this thing for make things simpler. So I will go there and find out, then come back after. The variance is not yet going. So just to avoid, but we have the mean and we have the median. Can give that. You can write your result for that. Then write for the variance. Just write error in the result. That means it's not actually building. So that means we can actually get the value for this variance. So go back to your observation and write your observation. Then go back to your conclusion and generate your conclusion. So let's go to practical 6. We talk about the chi-square test for hypothesis testing in C++. I'm sure you've come across chi-square before. Chi-square is actually used in mathematics for variables, independence, to test for variables, to check for hypothesis, null hypothesis, and the alternate hypothesis. So to observe frequency with expected frequency to determine the relationship between 2 categorical variables. So we are going to be going through this, and then we have the code already, so we are going to run it straight. So I'll just copy it and see. I hope this one will not show well. So I'll just copy the code and drop it and see what is going to happen. So we'll drop the code, let's run it and see. It's unsuccessful. It's actually showing error, just as if I'm known. So result we observe and the expected frequency are displayed. The calculated chi-square value is printed. Interpretation required. Comparing this value with a critical value. So I will copy these variables, this code. I will take it to DeepSeek to help me with this. Check for error and rewrite. So let's see what's going to come out. So let's see what's going to come out. It's completed. It's concluded. So it's telling us that there are giving us some errors that are there. So we are going to copy it and see. I will want to suggest that you try this in another programming language, just like a Visual Studio C++ instead of this the simple one. But let's run it and see what's going to happen again. Unsuccessful. So I'm very sure if you try this in the Visual Basic C++, it is Visual Studio C++ is an advanced IDE environment for programming language. I'm very sure it's going to work. So I have it anyway. I will still try it, but if you run this and it is successful, these are the results that you're expected to see, and these are your observation and your conclusion. So looking at practical 7, simulating pseudo-random processes and performing randomness tests in C++. I'm very sure using this guy Quincy for these two may give us some error because of the simplicity. But let's try it and see let's still try it and see. That is for our practical 7. Let's run it and see if it's built. Fine, thank God. Yeah, it's built though. It's built. So total toes is 1000, head is 519, tails is 481. So that is, it's giving us the number of times that we're going to toss the coin that will actually give us a particular outcome. After running the program, the number of heads and tail will be printed. So ideally, the result should be close to a 50-50 split, e.g. 501 head, 499 tail, indicating a good level of random. And that was what we actually got. I think we got, let's see what we got again. We got 494 and 506. So it's actually close to that, so which is good. This one ran because it's a simple test to check for randomness, a pseudo random process and performing randomness. So that is that. We have our result here, we have the observation here, we have our conclusion here. So I think this is okay for now, and then please complete your practical for this. Drop your matric number and name and the comment below to take the attendance. So thank you a lot. So when we see on the physically, you'll be able to talk about the variance and then the edit, get the bug edited and then run the program again. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.